Yo, what is good? My anime faithful, what is good, yo? Guys, Sword Art is going in, boys. It is going in. How did he block me when he was doing Um, I honestly did not expect um Yujo to be back so soon, like him to be completely conscious again of what he was doing. But at the same time, it all makes sense because it all came down to the girl, the Pointive, doing it herself, and not Yujo just like figuring out that he's in a genjutsu or something, you know? So I thought this was a good way of showing us that even the show is pretty conscious that, this character shouldn't have been gone for long, and if he is gone for long, they should bring him back as soon as possible. Um, but yeah, good stuff on their part for getting that right. I feel like they could have easily messed that up with leaving him as one of the bad guys for quite some time, including since they have this guy on standby that we're watching now. This man who just brought out some ultimate power. It's pretty clear to me that he was supposed to probably do this quite a bit ago. So I'm really interested to see just like how and what this giant fire lantern thing can do, because from what I can tell, a lot of people give this show a much better like pass or grade because of just like how overall the story's going and just how creative they're trying to be with the actual story instead of just giving us mediocre like stuff popping off. So I do appreciate that aspect, and I think it comes down with the show for me is when everything ends, what is this world going to look like? What is the true end game for that aspect of this show? And that's what it kind of boils down to for me. Is there going to be more sword art? Is there going to be or is this like the last sword art? You know what I mean? Like, this show is doing quite well, so I don't see why there wouldn't be a potential for more. So that's kind of my thing is with how well this show is doing as of right now. I could see it happening for quite a bit more time, and to think that we are in a position now where this season's practically almost over is getting kind of scary, guys. I'm not gonna lie, I definitely wanted the show to be here a lot longer than seemingly it's about to be. But at the same time, I mean, we've gotten quite some of the dope things happen, So I'm not sad in the slightest about that, but it would have been nice to get a little bit longer fight with Kimito and his brother, even though as soon as Kimito even got the upper hand with a technique that he didn't even show him, I think that's kind of what Kimito's character has. Excuse me. I'm gonna start saying Kazuto because when I talk to my Google Translate, if I say Kimito, it says like one kiwi toe. What I want is Karuto or something like that. They understand it. But what I was trying to figure out is just why he wouldn't teach him certain things, unless it came down to the reason why he could do it in the first place was mainly because of his agility and all the things that we were learning about him in Sword Art, that he's just a naturally gifted fighter, and he can pull out a lot more um, weird like angles, and maybe that's why he didn't share it with him, because it was definitely something that seemed like it was out unorthodox from Kimito going from, you know, fighting with swords and stuff like that to all of a sudden putting all of his energy into his foot and straight up kicking something out of your hands. So it's weird to me to think that uh, Kazuto is not even like he wasn't even capable of stopping um, his brother. You know, like not only was Alice offering to hop in, but I think Alice didn't understand his meaning behind the fight, which the meaning behind this fight was definitely to bring him back to the light, to bring him some understanding, like ground to stand on, because if you think about it, he really did not care to know anything about our characters, and it's clear that that's what that crystal does to people. It just oh, fills in all of your information in your mind, your memories, your likes, your dislikes, with whatever she wants it to be. And seeing how she went very lazy with it, because I mean, she had a good reason to be lazy. I mean, she had people that were straight up about to come up to her place and try to destroy her. So as soon as she finds out that not only did all the people fail, she then needs to make a backup plan, and her backup plan was to take the person that was already coming up top to destroy her, and she just made them hers. So she's very, very innovative when it comes down to these fly decision makings. It's not like she's had months on end to plan it, unless later on in the show she comes out to say, you know, oh, and I have the ability to read time, so you guys never stood a chance. I just saw what you were gonna do, and I just made my own plan. But it kind of gives me that feeling that she doesn't, because she's using someone that I feel like she would never want to use, or that she would never want to give like praise to, or give certain like gifts to and stuff. This little weasel guy, man. Ugh. He's as soon as he asked the question, "Can I be with you for like a night and do whatever I want to and stuff?" I already knew what we were getting from him. Like that he's probably that's another reason why he hated blonde Kimitos, because it was so easy for him to get in, and she actually probably enjoyed her time with him. So yeah, it makes sense, buddy. We get it. You ugly. She wanted some real blonde Kimito, and instead you were gonna give her pale white bald man, pale white Mr. Clean. So it's just this whole weird notion now that whatever comes in the future of this show, we could be seeing um, like a weird alternate ending, maybe, or I'm not sure how like the light novels and like the mangas and stuff ended, but if I could guess, I mean, we might be looking at the end of this all, you know? So if that is the case, that would leave us with only a few episodes left. And I mean, to be fair, Kimito Kazuto hasn't even gone outside of the machine to handle any any business that's happened out there. So there's that aspect of the show as well that they can kind of pick apart if they really wanted to. But I feel like it's not really redundant, but it's just it could be done with a quick, easy flip of like some words going across the screen, like, oh, and the man that assaulted Kimito is now in jail and serving time. You know, something that simple would do justice for the guy who did our main character dirty. So I won't be surprised if they don't like show us exactly verbatim what they do to him, but at the same time, guys, we are in a position now where this show just is about to be probably full on hype for the rest of the time, to be honest. I don't see this show pulling anything like lackluster from here on out, just because there's no reason to hold back. We got Alice, we got Yujo, and we got the main girl, you know, leaving the room, so she doesn't have to fight now, and maybe she can make some plans, but she's already got a pretty good idea of what's being attempted with the other blade. Like she knows that's the blue rose, but yet the guy goes at her with he's worried about the dagger, you know, that can't even defend him, or something that he hasn't even like tried system or enchanted armament with, you know. So it's just one of those things that you kind of get the idea of what they're trying to go for, but at the same time, we don't know if that's actually the case. She might not have really any idea what the thing could do, and she's just guessing. So, how did he block after I just broke his guard, bruh? Thought that was a guard break because you have no guard anymore. But yeah, overall, man, I truly love the direction they're going with this show. But like I said, what is the end game? What is the overall end all be all of this? And does it really um, end the Sword Art series, or is this the beginning of a new series or a new spin-off? What can we expect from this is all I really want to know. I did watch the Gun Gale spin-off and I did reviews on it on another channel, but I liked it. And so it had almost had more gore than this show does. So it just goes to show you that they kind of hold back at times. So if anything, they might be able to do what they want even to a further degree on their next one. Yeah, it's using low level characters. We just do no damage. This is not fun. Um, but with the degree of how much death is in the Sword Art universe alone, we still got to remember that a cell world is possibly a thing in this world as well, or like in the future, if the show has not progressed far enough to meet up with Excel, because the first helmets that Kimito was using in the first season was something they talk about in a cell world, and they talk about how dangerous they are. So with technology still progressing in the future, some kids were actually born with some type of chip that allowed them to pretty much be on the internet or burst link, if you will, and stuff like that. So if Kimito ever got into that world or vice versa, like they came to a world that Kimito was dealing with, or like a game that he's trying to create or something, I don't know. I just feel like they have so much going on in this universe that it would be a crime shame to end it without, really playing the homage to all of your overall cards and all your things that you can really put forward that is in your continuity. So very interested to see what you guys are thinking about this episode of Sword Art. I mean, it was pretty hype, and I have a question for my boy Nick. Do you want Grim Notes this week or this week? Do you want it today or would you rather it tomorrow? Because I think Sword Art, if you don't want Grim Notes today, it would be the only video. And then tomorrow, with Boruto and Grim coming out, you will at least have some content to watch tomorrow. But if not, I could drop it later today and have that out to you. And then tomorrow I'll just drop Boruto and be done with it. So either way, I'm completely fine with that. I just wanted to do more convenient for you if you wanted to have something to watch tomorrow, or if you wanted to have two things to watch today, so it's up to you. Let me know in the comments down below. I'll be waiting. But yeah, overall, guys, I am the Anime G. There's so much more shows to come, and I will be recording on all of them, so make sure you hit that notification button and stay tuned for whatever I'm about to drop next, because you definitely don't want to miss it. I'm going to be going in on all of this stuff. Not to mention, if there's really cool games that come out, they will be in the background as well, so definitely keep your eyes out for all that stuff. So with that being said, my anime people, I hope you have an awesome day, night, evening, whatever the case may be when you're watching this, and I will talk to you in the next one. Alright, peace. Jesus. I just wanted to land a special, brother. Get off of me. What? Level 100 is ridiculous.